Welcome to my UFL uniform ranking video for the 2026 season. Hopefully we get more jerseys or alternatives as seasons go on. But let's go ahead and dive right on into it and see where I rank compared to yours. Let's go ahead and start with number 8. That is right. It is the Orlando Storm. So, okay, let me explain how I got these ratings. So there's some that are very low on the list as being the worst to the best. And when I was looking at all everything I was kind of considering in this, and considering the overall ranking, there's creativity, uniqueness, capture the team identity, color palette, innovation, and helmet design. Kind of what I was looking at in that perspective. For Orlando, I don't mind the all black uniforms. There has been some some press releases that say it's dark gray and dark gray helmet, but according to Fox Sports and the article they did on the uniforms, as you can see on the sides of these slides, the color scheme, black and white, are what Fox Sports is stating their color schemes are for these uniforms. So I am just going off what Fox Sports has released from the league. But again, we have heard otherwise throughout the system. So this is my number 8. I think they could have did, as a lot of people in the comments said, they could have did more like a full purple uniform, kind of like maybe like a Ravens, or a full orange uniform with purple. That would give it. Now, some people have said that most all Florida teams are shiny and bright, and they like the contrast to that of being just a all black uniforms and all white, with the accent colors being the orange and purple. I get that, but in my when I'm going through all this process of those ranking, I just don't think there's much creativity. Yes, there's the side sleeves or whatnot that have kind of like the logo with the storm on them. I just don't think the creativity level is near as much as what some of the others got with the Orlando Storm. Moving on to number 7, and it is none other than the DC Defenders. Okay, before Defenders fans comes at me and whatnot, the reason why I rank this so low on the totem pole of not being the best is because there's not much done here. If anything, they just removed the camouflage, which we've talked about with the helmet design on the white, the away uniforms that had it. And I showed those in the uniform reveal for the DC Defenders, that first video, when I have the actual Under Armour uniforms that they had. And to me, they're great. I don't think any of the uniforms in particular are terrible for the league. But if we're ranking here, there's not much of a change from the Under Armour to here, except the color schemes of what they did have, the home uniforms and going all red compared to all white. There's just not much here. Again, you took away the main aspect of the DC Defenders with that camouflage that they've had since 2023, and kind of went more traditional back to 2020 with the DC Defenders of the all red, the all white. But again, their helmet to me too is very, very basic. That kind of put into play, and maybe it doesn't need to be anything big, but just a white helmet with the logo and 2 stripes down the middle of red and white. I don't know. It just didn't kind of showcase to me that factor. So moving on to number 6 on the list is the Louisville Kings. Again, a lot of people love these uniforms, and I don't necessarily disagree. There is some creativity, obviously, with the sleeves, the pants. We've seen this color scheme so much with XFL in 2020, XFL in 2023 with like the the Tampa Bay Bandits, Jesus, Tampa Bay Vipers, and then the Orlando Guardians in 2023. I don't mind it. I just don't think, despite the fact that they have the kind of customization to these, the helmet is just, it's so plain. It's like a shiny green helmet with the logo on it, and there's no other aspect to it. And that kind of carries on to the uniforms. I like that they're all silver, but again, I think they could have did a different overall. This is a team perspective. I think they could have gone with a different color palette when it comes to the overall logo and everything. But again, this is why it's ranking at number 6 on my list, just because like I don't think it necessarily is good or bad. It's kind of sort of in the middle there, which again goes into my next number, and we'll keep going, of number 5 on the list. And that, of course, is the St. Louis Battlehawks. Again, we have two teams with this silver uniform for the away. And overall, I don't like the helmet. The helmet is a downgrade from last year, and it's even more of a downgrade from the 2020 version. If they would have had the blue helmets in the similar design that the 2020 XFL had for the Battlehawks, I think these would stand out a little bit more and cross into another level of ranking. But I again, there's not much change to the Battlehawks uniforms except like making the lettering and numbering a little more like intact. Obviously the addition of the arch on the sleeves is great. Some people have said they prefer like more of a thickness to it. I don't mind the Battlehawks logo on the sleeves, but when we're really talking about that, nobody else really has their logo on the sleeves. So I kind of put these right almost in the middle between the Kings and Battlehawks being in the middle. Their uniforms are very similar in the like the home is the primary color, the away is the silver. I don't like the helmets hands down for the Battlehawks, and I don't think a lot of people do. The logo's not even correct on the helmets this time around, so I think that plays into why this was up there in the ranking. But overall, I don't mind the uniforms at all. I think they will look great on the field as they have. Again, I don't like the helmet, plain and simple, which was part of my ranking here. So then we move on to the next team here, and that is number 4 on the list is none other than the Dallas Renegades. Again, these are top tier. The away uniform is everything. I truly think the away uniform is top tier. Blending in with that all black helmet that the Renegades have never had. I've always wanted a black helmet, and I think the color scheme here, the color palette that is part of my ranking here, it all blends. The helmet down to the uniform, it's chef's kiss. Still did not make number 1, but it made the top 4 here in the league. And I do think that I wish they went with all black, but I understand why they didn't, because there's 2 other teams that have all black uniforms. You wouldn't want both of the Texas teams to have all black uniforms. I totally get it in that perspective. I also do not like, in the sense that the Aviators and the Renegades have very similar color palettes to them, and that kind of railed in here. Overall, though, I think these uniforms are absolutely awesome. Again, I talked about it on the Dallas Renegades uniform unveil video, that I love the sleeves, and I love the fact that it looks like it is like a leather pleather looking stripe with the black. Even the red kind of looks like that, and that really plays into that bandit, that biker type gang thing, and just like the overall what we're looking for in the Renegades. Again, hands down, I think my favorite uniform of all of them for the away 100% has to be the Renegades. It is just, it's chef's kiss. But let's move on because number 3 may shock a lot of people. And that, of course, is none other than the Birmingham Stallions, St. Louis, yikes, the Birmingham Stallions. A lot of people do not like these. There's quite a bit of fans that do, but the majority of people do not. And I think it is something that has to grow on everyone as we go through. Now, of course, helmet design comes into play here. I believe in person on the field, the red that red helmet, the color scheme I think blends in more so with the numbering and the stripe than it does in the pictures. It's just my guess. The all gold uniforms matches the stripe on the helmet, and quite frankly, I really like this design. It is sleek. I personally think it is way better than the all red design because, again, we still have another team with all red design, and that, of course, is the DC Defenders. I think it would be and again, you can critique the fact of the different color, of red that the Stallions have compared to DC. But when it comes to uniforms, I still think that these are hands down in my top 3, clear as day, and they have been. I said that from the original video that I really, really liked the Birmingham Stallions uniforms. I like the white with the red and gold mixture of it. It just blends very, very well. A lot of people don't like them. It is what it is. I personally think they are part of my top 3 of uniforms going into the 2026 season. I do think, though, I cannot disagree that I do think eventually for alternative uniforms, there should be an all black one. I think that'd be cool, especially if you look to the Royal Retro remix jersey of the Stallions being all black with the red. I really like that. Or no, it's black with the gold. I like that. And I would not mind an all red uniform with maybe white or gold numbering and lettering at some point. But up front, I think these are really absolutely amazing uniforms. Moving along, though, we move on to my number 2 choice. And that, of course, is the Columbus Aviators. It came in so close with number 1. I almost picked Columbus as the number 1. But again, I still think here they are unique. I love the light blue coloring and overall perspective. I think it's great. I just don't know if the helmet blends in with that home uniform just too opposite. If they had a dark, navy, dark navy, I put navy. It's supposed to be dark navy according to Fox. Dark navy helmet with the light blue or sky blue, whatever it is, accents to it and stripes. I think that would look better here. But overall, it made number 2 because these are straight fire uniforms. I like them. I really like the away, and I just like the difference in the numbering in comparison to other teams and how that style all kind of blends in. The thing is, despite the fact the helmet I think could have been dark navy, I do think the color scheme blends in perfect, just like the Renegades. I think this is where you don't really see a Mitch match of uniforms. I'm probably even saying that wrong. Jesus, can't talk. I think it blends in very well compared to some of the others where it's like, does this really match all that well, or whatnot? It could mismatch on the Stallions one as well. If that helmet is more darker than what the uniforms are on the field and outside of studio lights and all that type of stuff, that could be a problem that would essentially long term could bump the rating of the Stallions down more compared to how high I've ranked them. But again, let's go ahead. We all know number one. So it is none other than the Houston Gamblers. Hands down, I think these are absolutely stunning. They are very customized. They have the poker chip. They have the H, the alternate logo on the sleeves. And that's what I really, really like about this. They did very much creativity. There's a stripe down the leg that is customized. I really, really like these uniforms. The black and white and red on the and kind of they say it's gold, yellow, whatever it is, really stands out in this perspective on these uniforms, and I really like them, especially the black helmet, the stripe down the middle with the gold other stripes. Overall, I love these uniforms, and I think they are, quite frankly, the best uniforms that got released in the UFL this season. Bringing back the Gamblers and this overall process with the Houston Gamblers organization taking over. I know a lot of Houston Roughneck fans have been like, I like them better. I like the color scheme better. I don't like Houston Gamblers because of that. That's fine. I totally get that, being a fan of a certain team. But when it comes to what we got this year for uniforms, if they would have done just a bit of a difference for every single team, like they did for Houston, I really think that the everybody complaining about the little minor details of uniforms would have a different perspective here. I don't know why they did this to make some teams different than others, or some teams more bland compared to more customized when it comes to Houston. But man, they did everything perfect in my opinion in Houston Gamblers, and I really hope that translates eventually. Not necessarily uniforms make a difference, but some people have made it that way recently, that I really hope that translates to being a successful franchise, a team, and just overall a good operation. And just, I hope these look as good as they do on photos, under lighting, and all that stuff on the field, and I truly think they will. But that is officially my number one ranking for them. Without further ado, though, let us thank the members of the channel for all your support. I updated this list because we continue to grow. We've got even more here on the channel. Thank you again for supporting at the membership level. For only 99 cents a month, you can support the channel. Steven Johnson, 5398, Lupe Lyons, 17, Mitchell Still, Support Radical Habits, David Perez, M70, 9Ball Chris, Little Cam 51, DJP 16, Dustin Ward, 8540, Clyde R. Emerson, Ralph Kun 2291, Cheesy Capitals Fan, Yara, Fred Smith 7964, Appleman 20, Sectors 1019, Domcha 7849, Stephen Sharon 1138, Denzel Season 25, I Caleb Gordon, Charlie JDK, Carmine Alapo, I believe it's Apollo 8251, Chris Batista 5442, Nitwich 7760, and of course the newest member to the channel, Scott, I believe it's Staller EU1TG. Again, thank you for supporting me. You can do the same for just 99 cents a month, and that helps continue this big process. And trust me, there is something very big brewing for this channel. I've talked about it. I will make the announcement probably in the first part of March, and hopefully start getting things underway for this. It is very big for this channel. It'll change the dynamic of how this channel is filmed, how it is presented to everybody, and it will just change everything. That's all I'm saying. There's no name change. You don't have to worry about that. Nothing like that. It is a presentation, and how this show is presented to you and what you see here on the screen, here on YouTube, will change forever. and I have acquired a very big piece of this puzzle yesterday, and it took quite a while to receive this, but I have received it, and we'll see then. But again, thank you to all the members who support the channel. For you, even if you're not a member, thank you for watching the videos. If you're not done so already, make sure you hit the subscribe button below, hit that like button, and make sure you share this video, this channel with your friends, family, whatever it is. Let's get as many people involved in the UFL as possible going forward and continue to build this community up. It is free to subscribe. Hit it below, hit the like button, and then of course make sure you check out whatever video pops up on the screen here for you, and let me know in all the members out there. I'm putting a call out to the members. If you were watching this far in the video, what did you think about the uniform rankings, and what would you rank the uniforms? I'm curious to see what everyone has, and we'll see you back here on the flip side. Have a great one, everyone.